Work on this area here is going to be done downstairs. Adjourn to downstairs. Area for me, so I guess we're going to find out if I know what I'm doing or not. So the first thing is to get this out. I don't know if this will go flying out or not. Okay. All right, the next step I'm thinking is to get the trigger out. Okay. This safety thing is not used in this. Okay, the trigger's out. And I gotta figure this out. Yeah, I had to turn the camera off so I could go check that video out again on how to get this exhaust valve out. You have to turn it sideways, but here, let me show you. And then you would turn it sideways, and it goes back into those two notches there, and that's what holds it in. So when you take it out, it is lined up like this in the two notches, and you have to turn it that way. And I had to put it in the vise to get that done. Now there is a seal in here, an O-ring. We will replace the O-ring and put the valve spring back in, the exhaust valve, and probably replace the O-ring here. Okay, I got the O-ring for the valve out, and the O-ring for the tube is out. Since I got this new kit, I'll replace it with these O-rings. Once I get those in and put the valve back in, we'll get started on the trigger. Here's the lands and grooves of the Daisy 880. It's got some decent ones. The valve is in. This is no longer part of it, the sear. So there's a blank place where it used to be, or you could kind of see where it was rubbed there. This wedge here is supposed to go in that space, and now you have a much strong spring there that I'm supposed to put in here like that, and then it will connect to there, that brass thing, which will be faced like this, and it will be, I think they call this the hammer. This will be the hammer that pulls the valve out to cause the shot to go. So I'm going to try this. It's going to be awkward. The guy says put super glue in on that, but I'm not sure how it works, so I'm not going to put the super glue on yet. If I can get it in without the super glue, I'll do it. He says it's not necessary. Okay, I got that one in, the hammer, I guess. Now I got to get this, the trigger itself, get that sear over a part of the hammer, and you have to put it in the vise here to keep that down, make it a little easier. I still don't know if I'm going to be able to fit it, but I'm not going to be able to do it while holding the camera, so I'll get back to you. Okay, I got it in, I think, and the sear is, you can't really see it very well, but it's right there, is over the hammer. So let's see if I can get this to do its thing. There, when you press the trigger. Now I have to put the hammer back down manually, and the last step will be to take that smaller spring and put it between the top of the trigger and the bottom of the hammer. Maybe the reason why the trigger pull will be less is here's the original spring and I'm replacing it with this spring. I think I got it. So here, let's simulate this. First of all, let's take a look. Here's what I put in. There's the other spring that replaced that safety device there. All right, now it's cocked. You heard it go there. So you can see the sear right in there, maybe. Let's get a little more light on it. You can see the sear over the top of the edge of the hammer. Now I'm going to pull the trigger and watch what happens. And then it moved this thing out. Trying to hold the barrel with my elbow and record at the same time. And there you go. So that looks like it'll work. Well, I'm going to put this down for today. It's 1:30 in the morning. I'm a night owl. Come back tomorrow and do some more. I think we're ready to put the rifle back together. I'll take it back upstairs. I did one extra thing. I put that masking tape there. I don't use the BBs in the rifled barrel, so I find when I load a pellet, it tends to slide there down that BB hole, so this is to block that off. I'm going to add a brand new replacement piston assembly and bolt and handle. The process is just the reverse of taking it apart, so I'll get back to you at various phases. Well, the first thing I need to put in is the new valve here too. And then I'll put the pump chamber in. It's now cocked. 5 pumps. The cylinder's holding the air. Looks like everything's in place. That's the first time I've actually put that back together. And I'm making a decision at this point and putting it back together. This is a barn find 1980 Daisy 880. Well, I since bought one for about $20 more that's got more parts and is in better shape. So this one is going to be a parts rifle. I have decided the old Daisy 880s had a lot better molding. Here's the molding from that one that I just showed you. And it does fit on here. Compare that to the present one. When this is put on, this is boxier on the bottom. And this one is more tapered, so it's got a lot better feel to it. It's going to fit, and it looks nice, doesn't it? At least the forestock does. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to use the stock that came with this one, even though it's got that off brown. Time constraints here. I do plan to take this off. I will have to make modifications on it, but it takes a lot of time, so do that on a subsequent video. But for this video, I think we're going to finish it out with this walnut colored stock without the diamond. All put together. The new bolt fits in good. Next step is to take it downstairs and do the trigger pull test, which was the reason why I did this in the first place. Now, I'm not doing a painting today because we're not doing speed tests, but I am going to put the results in here and reserve this page here. Let's go with trigger pull. On the video I did already with the testing the trigger pull, this one came up at 5 pounds, 5.2, and 5.5. 5 pumps. Same trigger gauge. Alignment. First test. That is 1.1. 1.1 again. 1.2 on that one. 1.2 again. It's pretty good. Last test, just make sure it'll fire a pellet. Well, that's about it for this video. In future videos, we'll do the speed and get the old scope back on here. Definitely need this scope on here. Not sure if we've been throttled, but the views have been down. If you haven't subscribed already, I would appreciate it if you would, so we can get more videos out. And don't forget to press the like button either. So, till next time,